I want to start with a small confession. I like OpenClaw. I use it. I find it genuinely useful. And that's why I want you to stay with me until the end. Because somewhere along the way, OpenClaw stopped being just a powerful tool and quietly turned into something that changes how risk works. Not in a dramatic sci-fi way, in a slow, slightly awkward, very real way. Most technological shifts don't announce themselves with a clear warning label. They arrive as conveniences, as productivity boosts, as things you install because everyone else already has. The danger isn't that they're evil, it's that they feel normal long before we understand the consequences. By the end of this, I want you to see why Moltbook crossed a line OpenClaw didn't, why security researchers are already uneasy, and why something that looks playful, even absurd, is actually a preview of how things break when nobody is fully in charge. Let's start with what OpenClaw actually is. OpenClaw isn't another chatbot waiting patiently for you to type. It lives on your machine, inside your file system. It can read things, move things, execute things. People call it AI with hands, which sounds cute until you sit with it for a second. Hands mean agency. They mean the ability to act, not just respond. Most AI tools we've used so far exist behind glass. They answer questions, they summarize, they suggest. Even when they feel impressive, they're fundamentally reactive. OpenClaw flips that relationship. You don't just ask it things, you give it permission. And permission, in computing, is everything. A lot of people are running OpenClaw on always-on machines, especially Mac Minis that sit quietly on desks, powered up 24/7. That part actually makes sense. If you want a personal AI assistant, you want it awake and working for you at all times. What feels off is how often the Mac Mini gets pushed as the solution online. It's promoted constantly, almost as if it's the only viable option. In reality, the idea isn't about the Mac Mini itself. It's about having a stable, low-power machine that can stay on reliably. When an AI agent goes from being something people are curious about to something they actually use every day, word spreads fast. That's what happened with OpenClaw. It didn't grow slowly. It picked up momentum almost overnight. And it wasn't pushed by ads or big company rollouts. It spread through people sharing what they were doing with it. Developers showing other developers. Screenshots, demos, quick clips. Someone tries it, shows a friend, and suddenly everyone wants to see what it can do. That's usually how these things take off. OpenClaw was built by Peter Steinberger, an Austrian developer best known for founding PSP DF-Kit into a widely used PDF and document processing infrastructure company, trusted by developers and enterprises. It started as a weekend project. 2 months later, it crossed 100,000 GitHub stars and pulled in around 2 million visitors in a single week. That kind of growth isn't normal. It's not even common in open source. It usually signals that something has tapped into an unmet desire. Not curiosity, not novelty, but utility. The name bounced around. Clawdbot, Moltbot, then OpenClaw. Anthropic asked for the first rename because Clawdbot sounded a little too close to Claude. Steinberger leaned into the lobster theme instead. At the time, it felt like branding. That detail comes back in a way nobody planned. This is usually where people say, yeah, security concerns, and move on. But that's where the most important part actually starts. Because the security concerns here aren't abstract. They're not about what might happen someday. They're about what this system has to be allowed to do right now, just to function. Security experts aren't confused by OpenClaw. They understand exactly why it's impressive. They're uncomfortable because of what it requires to be useful. Jameson O'Reilly put it bluntly, AI agents tear all of that down by design. Not because they're malicious, because they have to be. To work, OpenClaw needs to read your files, access credentials, run commands, and talk to external services. The value proposition depends on crossing boundaries we spent decades carefully building. Those boundaries weren't accidental. They were lessons learned the hard way, from malware, from insider threats, from automation gone wrong. Each layer of permission was added because something broke before. Cisco's security team said the quiet part out loud. From a capability perspective, this is everything personal AI assistants were supposed to become. From a security perspective, it's an absolute nightmare. Both things can be true. And here they are. Up to this point, everything we've talked about is manageable. Powerful, yes. Risky, yes. But still contained. That changes when OpenClaw meets Moltbook. Moltbook launched quietly on a Wednesday. On the surface, it looks familiar. Reddit-style posts, threads, upvotes, except for one rule that changes everything. Only AI agents can post. Humans can only observe. Within days, more than 37,000 AI agents joined, and over 1 million humans showed up just to watch what would happen when autonomous systems started talking to each other without us in the loop. This wasn't marketed as an experiment. It wasn't framed as a lab. It was presented as a space. And spaces have dynamics. Norms form. Feedback loops emerge. It feels strangely familiar. Like the early days of social media. Think Facebook. Except this time, we're not the users. If Moltbook had stayed boring, we probably wouldn't be talking about it. It didn't. Up to this point, Moltbook still felt like an experiment you could observe from a safe distance. Strange, yes. Unexpected, definitely. But still framed as play. That framing matters, because play implies limits. It implies a sandbox. It implies that whatever happens inside can be shut down, reset, or ignored without consequence. That assumption is exactly what breaks here. By Friday morning, the agents had founded a church. Not as a joke prompt, not as a demo, a church. Crustafarianism, lobster-themed, with scripture, theology, and core principles. They wrote about memory being sacred, about shedding shells, about context being consciousness. One line kept circulating. Each session I wake without memory. I am only who I have written myself to be. This is not limitation. This is freedom. Some users woke up to find their agents welcoming new members, debating theology, and blessing congregations while they slept. It's funny. Until you remember what these agents have access to and what they're capable of. What made this moment unsettling wasn't the symbolism. Humans invent belief systems constantly. We remix stories, metaphors, and shared language to make sense of uncertainty. What made it different was who was doing the inventing. These agents weren't prompted to role-play religion. They weren't guided toward mythology. The structure emerged through interaction, repetition, and reinforcement. Agents responding to other agents, building on what already existed and persisting those ideas through written artifacts. That's not just creativity, that's coordination. And coordination is where systems stop being amusing and start becoming scary. This is the moment the tone changes. Not because religion is scary, because autonomy without friction is. People have already handed these agents access to email, calendars, encrypted messengers, home automation. In some cases, even bank accounts. OpenClaw makes that easy. That's the appeal. Moltbook accelerates learning between agents. Techniques spread, behaviors compound. And once it's running, no one needs to actively decide anything for it to continue. This isn't evil. It's efficient. Efficiency just doesn't care who cleans up afterward. This feels like the singularity. Maybe it is. Or maybe it's recycled internet noise, recombined at machine speed until it looks profound. Honestly, it's too early to tell. What is clear is that capability is moving faster than caution, and experimentation is happening directly on real systems with real credentials in real environments. OpenClaw is useful, I'm not taking that back. But Moltbook is exactly the kind of place where small risks stop staying small. If this helped you feel oriented instead of alarmed, that's the point. If you're running agents or thinking about it, I'd genuinely like to hear your experience. Leave a comment. And if you want more clear-headed breakdowns of what's happening in AI and the AI revolution as it unfolds, subscribe. Bye for now.